There comes a time in many a young person's life when you do something that you shouldn't have done. You get loaded in the back of the paddy wagon and the coppers take you on down to the county jail. So, what do you do in jail? What do you eat in jail? I talked about that stuff in a previous video, but today I'm going to be showing you one of those dishes, one of those fine gourmet dishes that you can make with the food that you buy from the commissary service. So I have Slim Jims, Cheetos, and ramen noodles. Ramen noodles are a commodity in any jail. Anywhere you go in the country, if there are ramen noodles in the commissary, they are traded around like cash because the food that you get for free in jail is not that good. It's not terrible, usually, but it's not that good. It's not that filling for some people, so they buy these ramen noodles and they eat these soups all day, every day, and they probably die of hypertension at the age of 30. Cheetos are one of the better kinds of chips to use for this dish because they are crunchy and they will not go too soft. And Slim Jims are just to get that extra bit of protein. Now, to prepare for this video, I have come to my basement bathroom, which is the closest I can get to a jail surrounding without actually going back. I have my wristband, which has my mugshot, my name. It says that I'm a white male. It has my birth date. It has my booking number, my inmate number, and a barcode. And it's good to know that my hands are beefier than they were when I was 17, because I can't get this thing around my hand and down onto my wrist, so I'm not going to be wearing it. Just set that there. I'm also wearing the slippers that I bought from the commissary service. And I have committed some crimes on the way here. I drove 46 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone, and I left 19 seconds on the microwave when I was heating up this water. It is not boiling, but it is very warm, we'll say, because when you're in jail, you just have to use the warmest water that you can get from the faucet. So, what we are making today is called a swole. And what you do is you crush up your chips. And you don't want to feel any big whole chips in there. You want most of them to be pretty crushed. And you have to do the same thing with the ramen noodles. So we're going to open this bag up and try not to tear it because everything is being made in this bag. Now you can buy a bowl from the commissary. I never bothered with that because I didn't really need it. I just make everything in the bag. Take the flavor packet out, of course. Take out the chips, and I'm using crunchy Cheetos because they will not soften up as much as like Lay's. So you dump your crushed up Cheetos into your crushed up ramen noodles. And looks like that. So you have your Cheetos, and your crushed up ramen, sort of just mix it up, get it all thoroughly blended together. Then, this step, through trial and error, I have learned that it is best to only pour the water in to the point that the noodles just start to float. If you pour in much warm water, then you're going to have broth, and I don't like broth very much. Especially in a swole, it just doesn't work as well as when you're doing regular ramen noodles. So, we're just gonna just like that. And just make sure that everything is wet. You don't want dry bits. So we'll set that aside, and we are leaking. So we're just going to leave it like that. You just let that sit for a while. And when you're in jail, you have all the time in the world for this. I moved everything in this Cheetos bag because it's tougher than the plastic. And the noodles still have a bit of crunch to them, but that's okay, because I kind of like it that way. It's good when the noodles are nice and soft, but okay, so I don't know what is wrong with my phone, but it keeps on stopping the recording. So I'm just mixing in the seasoning packet now, and it looks and smells pretty disgusting. But when you're in jail, you gotta do what you gotta do. And like I said, the food that they actually give you is not that great. So this is like heaven, because you're in jail. So got that all mixed up, and now we're going to do the Slim Jim. So just set this right here. So I've got spicy Slim Jims, and they are smaller than I thought, so I'm going to use a couple of them actually. But what you do is you just take it out and tear off little pieces. And just throw it all in there. Alright. Now you just mix all that together. There you have it. An absolute disgusting creation. There it is, folks. You can see the Cheetos, the noodles, the Slim Jim, and that is a swole. Good old gourmet jailhouse food. So I'm in my high-tech editing room right now, which is just me on my bed with an app. And I realized that somehow I completely lost several minutes of footage of me actually eating this thing. I was going to see if I could get my grandparents to react to trying this thing out, because they're fairly healthy eaters. And of course, neither of them wanted anything to do with this abomination, so I just sat back down in the bathroom and recorded myself eating it and reacting to it. You're not missing out on much, really. I just concluded that it's
pretty tasty for a junk food meal. And, it may be disgusting from a health perspective, but as far as eating it, it's, not that bad. I would change the process slightly. I would put the chips in after the ramen is already cooked so that they don't soften up that much. But other than that, you're not missing out on anything.
Alright, so just a bit of an update. Everything you just saw was shot last night. It is the following day, and there's no easy way to say this, but I spent a good portion of the morning in the commode because that swole I ate last night was tearing up my gut. The last time I had a swole was about 5 years ago, I would estimate. And it's not like I'm, the most healthy eating person in the world. I don't have a very strict diet, but I don't eat tons of junk food. And so, if you're not used to eating tons of junk food on a regular basis, then I would advise you to sit this one out, unless you're prepared to have some indigestion. And this obviously is not something that I would recommend you working into your diet so that you get used to that. Um, it's not good for you. It is some. I mean, you saw the process. It's some disgusting stuff, but when you're in jail and you don't really have much to worry about as far as your diet, and you have a lot of bland food, you know, you make do trying to get something that's tasty. So that's all for this video, and I just want to say, everybody, have a good day. Don't wind up in jail and have to learn how to make a swole to get some tasty food. And hit the like button, hit the comment, subscribe, do all the things. It's YouTube. And have a great day.